Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Aaron, Dave, double Patricks.
Patrick Square.
Thank you very much.
I'm still grossed out by the off-air comment.
Well, that's just because, never mind. Never mind. It'll just make it worse.
David.
I'm going to dig that hole.
Yeah. Well, why don't you get our studio audience going, and we'll introduce our band for today, all the way from Nashville.
Live from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's the Rusty Shipp.
Yes.
Hey, everybody for having us.
Do you guys have a pirate theme going on stage or anything like that?
To some degree, yes.
I don't mean to be cheesy. I really,
No.
I thought about that. I was like, I would totally go that route.
One of the last shows we played a few months ago, we did pull up on stage a guy who had the, actually, it's that thing right there. He was wearing that tentacle mask with a big old pirate hat.
Yeah.
We pulled it, and we're like, and now a word from Davy Jones.
I was so hoping you were going to say a few months ago we pulled up a guy on stage that had the peg leg, but
we have not run into that yet.
Still trying to find one of those.
I really thought that's where I was going with that. Coupled up on stage.
hang around tree services or lumber yards, you might get lucky.
Oh, you know what? Even better, if you get a guy with a wooden leg, you can have him take it off and play drums with it.
I'm okay with that if we ever run into that.
Now,
I think it
with the peg leg who hears this is going to be so offended because I'm done. I'm done. I want coffee.
Hey, if you're a listener and you have a wooden leg, contact me. I've got an idea. All right. We got Russell Shipp and AJ Newton all the way from Nashville, Tennessee to talk to us about Rusty Shipp. How you doing, guys?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having us again.
Yes.
All right. So I'm just looking at backgrounds right now. Russell, you look like you're in a studio.
I'm actually in a deep underwater submarine right now at the moment, patrolling off the Pacific.
You got good Wi-Fi. You got good Wi-Fi in that ship.
Great Wi-Fi down here in the Mariana Trench.
It must be that yellow submarines those guys behind AJ were singing about, right?
That's right.
I tied that together.
Yeah,
it was like
I was just gonna mention that you had a picture of what looked like the 70s Beatles there. Yeah.
It's the boys right there.
Yeah, right before they broke up, right?
What better inspiration than the Beatles, right? Yeah.
I say so. I like the Beatles. They're pretty good.
Love them. Yeah.
They're a decent band.
I'm gonna open up the can real quick. What spawned the pirate themed thing you guys got going on here? I love it. I just want to know what the inspiration was.
Well, it kind of started with the beginning. You know, we were throwing around different band names, like, oh, what if we were like the Evangelical Animals, or like whatever. It's just ridiculous band names. And then somebody was like, I don't know, man, your name's Rusty Shipp. Let's just name the band Rusty Shipp because that's just awesome. How can you have a better band name than that? That's where we're like, all right. So we just went with the name Rusty Shipp, and over time we're like, well, what does Rusty Shipp music sound like? It should probably sound like a rusty ship. So what does a rusty ship sound like? Well, it's kind of like underwater sounding, and it's kind of grungy, like rust. Like it sounds like it's got barnacles on it somehow, whatever that sounds like. And, lyrically, it's about the ocean. Yeah, let's just throw some pirates in there. Everybody loves some pirates. And so it just kind of kept morphing and evolving over time and getting more and more nautical. And, yeah, so here we are today.
Now, just made me think of this. Have you guys ever heard of Ailstorm? Not Hailstorm, yeah. Ailstorm. Yeah. Scottish pirate punk or Scottish pirate metal is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they sing it.
we don't go quite that far to those extremes of gimmicky entertainment. Sometimes we get close, but not Ailstorm close.
Okay. Yeah,
I
because
really think I need that in my ear holes after this is done.
I'll send you some links.
You might want to clean out your ear holes after you put that in your ear holes. Not necessarily the most wholesome lyrics in Ailstorm.
Yeah.
As the name would imply.
Yeah.
I will take your word for it and just be like, okay, we got Beer Storm or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Old Dual Storm.
The perfect thing for people to cleanse out their ears after listening to Ailstorm, naturally, of course, is Rusty Shipp.
Rusty Shipp.
Mm-hmm.
It's a palate cleanser.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, all jokes aside, we had a woman tell us that one time at a festival about 2 years ago. We were playing a festival in Illinois called Audio Feed. And there was metal band after metal band after metal band after metal band. And then finally we get up, we're different. And then another metal band. And this lady came up to our merch stand to talk to us afterwards. She said, I can't tell you how much you guys cleansed my palate. And then she started buying merch and everything. She loved us. And I was like, it's because we're different.
Isn't it awesome when you connect with someone in the crowd like that is maybe the type that you wouldn't expect? I mean, we were at Joshua Fest watching Disciple, and sitting next to us this woman must have been 80 years old, and she was rocking out the entire time. And I just thought it was cool. And she finally, she's getting up, and her adult son's getting up, and they're starting to walk out. And she leans over and she goes, I want to stay, but it's too loud for him. He wants to go. So
Yeah.
I love when people like that you wouldn't assume just are like totally into it.
Can you adopt grandmas? I would adopt her. Can you adopt grandmas?
Right? Well, they had the campsite next to us. I came to find out. So I started giving the son a hard time the entire time. I was like, gonna let your mom see this? Come on, man. So how long you guys been doing Rusty Shipp?
Well, our first show ever was in 2014. And since then, we've gone through a ton of different band members. AJ is actually the longest band member that's been part of this band. Mm-hmm. But that's really when the band got started. And later that year, 2014, we came out with our first EP, the Hold Fast to Hope EP, back in 2014. And since then, we've come out with 3 albums since then. So, yeah.
Awesome. And Rusty Shipp the entire time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so it didn't like morph or evolve from something else. So you're coming up on almost 10 years now. Where do you see yourself going? I mean, what do you want to do next?
Well, I do the songwriting for the band and the lyrics and the music and the melodies and everything. And I'm just a total artist, and I'm always trying to do things that I've never done before with the art medium of sound and music. And I take that very seriously. So each album, I'm trying to do something that I haven't done before and do something different, more creative, more artistic. So definitely I'm trying to do that each album that we release. And then also the lyrics are incredibly philosophical, and the spiritual messages. I'm trying to really connect to people, to challenge them and think about certain concepts that they maybe don't think about that often, including Christians. And so that's something that each album, as my own beliefs get more and more grounded, and also as my own beliefs expand more and more, my understanding expands, that really informs the lyrics in the albums that I'm making. So each album, especially with this last one, Dark Side of the Ocean, I'm just trying to fine tune the songwriting more and more to be that much more artistic, that much more melodic and hooky, and that much more philosophically provocative, as well as that much more directly applicable and digestible for a person, so that the album as a whole is more transformational and empowering to the individual listening. So each album that we're doing, that I'm writing music for, that's my goal, is like, okay, as I learn the process more and more and become more skilled at it, how can I just tweak it to be more effective with each album that we release? So that's my goal for the next album in the future after Dark Side of the Ocean. I'm already working on it. And I think I'll probably have the same goal for the album following that and the album following that.
It sounds like you. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Patrick.
You released a song around Halloween or last October when we released Bring Out Your Dead, and it was had a very Halloween feel to it. Yep. And don't feel bad. I can't remember the names of our own songs, let alone anybody else's. I thought that was an amazing jam. What was the name of that song again?
Tananim.
That's it. Yes, that is it.
Thank you, by the way. That's very kind of you to say.
Fantastic song. I mean, I'm listening to that groove, and I'm like, man, this is some good stuff. I mean, really good.
Yeah. It's so nice to hear when people appreciate that. That probably is one of the most artistically challenging songs that we've done. We've never done anything like that one before.
It was the weirdest, most experimental Rusty Shipp song we had ever written and released.
Hands down. Yeah.
So the fact that you liked it, that's a real mission accomplished.
Yeah.
It's like,
I appreciate it's eclectic weirdness in a song because it makes them stand out. Because everything now it feels like it's just cookie cutter. Well, we gotta have this here and this here. Well, let's put a phaser on it, and then let's add some sweet harmonies and backup vocals and have it new metal sound. And it's refreshing. Your music is refreshing. I guess we'll just go back to the palate cleanser.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe we should just put out a record called Palate Cleanser.
Absolutely.
Totally.
And just have the cover art would just be a guy out washing wood pallets.
Yes.
I like that. I can't top that. I was going to say make it all just spa type, transcendental type music, palate cleanser, get it? But no, I like your idea much better.
And you guys were just nominated for a Grizzly Award, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Alt Rock Song of the Year for our song Bottom of the Barrel.
Oh, wow.
When are those results coming?
Congratulations.
It's
March 25th?
Yeah, March 25th.
Yeah.
So you guys know yet?
Stay tuned, and we'll see if we win.
Oh, do you guys know yet? Have you already been told?
Can't say.
So that's going to be a yes. Nice poker face there, Rusty.
Good job, Patrick. All right.
You guys
Anyway,
tune in and watch the results. It's going to be a good show. Lots of great bands.
Absolutely.
I haven't watched the Grizzlies. Do they do them on YouTube or?
Yeah, live stream on YouTube.
Nice. Yeah. Is it more exciting than your typical award show?
I think so. I mean, as somebody who is a Christian and is very much involved on a spiritual level to the overall mission that unites us all, there's definitely a sense of community in this award show that's different than just a typical award show where you just show up as a spectator and like, oh wow, this is just entertainment. I find that there's a real community aspect to it where I think everybody watching and all the artists and the announcers, they feel like there's they're part of something bigger than just the music and the award show. And so I think it's just great because it's really the whole point of the award show is to give a spotlight to a lot of artists who don't really have any other means of getting a spotlight. Rock and metal is kind of in some ways like on the fringe or the outcast from the Christian music industry in a sense. So it's pretty cool. Just like I feel like by tuning in and being a part of it, I'm just supporting the overall cause of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's kind of why we started this show. There's plenty of, K-Love and Air One and all, and that was always my complaint where I wanted to listen to, I got into Christian music in the 80s, so I wanted to listen to Petra and Steve Taylor and Res Band, and the Christian station here didn't play that stuff. It would, it played Sandy Patty and Amy Grant, and it just there was nothing for me there. And I've always wanted to do something where I could play actual Christian rock music and introduce people to bands, and it wasn't until podcasting came along that I could do that. So kind of the same thing, my thoughts on like the Dove Awards and the Grizzly Awards, which is Dove Awards. I mean, we're always Amy Grant and Sandy Patty. It was stuff that I couldn't connect with. I had no interest in if somebody won a Dove Award or not. But the Grizzlies are tapping into a lot of bands that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Well, like Rusty said, it's a huge chunk of the community who could never feel like they could connect with the Dove Awards. I always felt like with the Dove Awards, it was like big mainstream, big label artists only.
Yeah, it was like a Christian Grammys.
Yeah, it was like, here's our club, and if you're not a part of that club, you just kind of fall to the wayside.
Yeah.
So with the inclusion of the Grizzly Awards, there was enough industry experts who got tired of watching a lot of these artists get ignored for their talent. And like you said, we grew up on different music than what you'd see on the Dove Awards or listen to through those artists. So it finally puts a little bit of a spotlight on people that otherwise would go unnoticed.
Right.
So we're extremely humbled that anything we do even got considered for a Grizzly Award.
Well,
we had nominations on our last record too from them, so that was amazing as well. So it's awesome what they're doing.
That's awesome.
I think it's great because they actually allow independent artists who are not tied to a label at all. They're participating. And I think that's probably the greatest advantage for the independent artist to be recognized there.
And I know they got a lot of, input from fans and stuff, because I see that all over Facebook, vote for us in the Grizzlies and, that sort of thing. So,
well, for 5 years, I did a Christian easing magazine. And one of the reasons I started it is because every review that come out of CCM magazine they would talk about, a little bit of what we don't like about it, but at the end talk about how great the album was and it's one of the greatest of all time. And I just felt they were being dishonest. And it seemed like the Dove Awards to me has become a popularity contest where, I would look at who was nominated. I'm like, that wasn't really that good. And just to be honest to myself. And I feel the Grizzly Awards, even though some of the songs I really liked didn't get nominated, I can't argue with the list that got nominated. A lot of those songs are great. And again, it's just what people liked. I thought the best song last year didn't get nominated. But again, the other songs in that category, I can't argue with. Yeah. It's all somewhat with music is personal choice, but also, you have to put in quality at that point. And those are the songs that got nominated, the groups that got nominated are all quality bands.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
And, in today's age with all the technology we got and everything like that, I mean, from a financial standpoint, it doesn't do much for the bands. I know that. But for a recognition standpoint, where you have places like Spotify and Apple Music and Stitcher and, all these outlets where your music can get heard and people can find you and it's easy to share your music, that sort of thing. It helps you to get noticed. So I think the Grizzlies and to a point, what we do here is just kind of an offshoot. I mean, it's a something that grew out of this monster tree. You know what I mean? It's like it's the seed that fell from the tree and now they're sprouting up, I guess is how I'm trying to get at it. You know what I mean? And I like the landscape of all this, those those record label barriers being brought down, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. We got daggone Aristotle's cousin over here trying to speak. We call him David Stottle. There's like a seed that fell from the oak tree and was planted and spread.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to paint a picture, man.
No, but you're dead on, because more and more artists are getting away from labels. It's almost like now the cool thing is to be as far away from a label as you possibly can, because in a way, if you don't have somebody yelling at you about, well, this song I don't like and that song I don't like, or I don't like this, and we're not going to do album artwork like that. If you're just an independent artist, well, you can put out whatever you want.
Right.
Rusty and I and the guys, we can create whatever we feel like we want to create. We can let loose with whatever message we want to let loose with, and we will let the public be the judge of if it's good or not. We know we'll be proud of it at the end of the day because we put our blood, sweat, and tears in it. But you're in the court of public opinion the second you let it go and let it fly, so to speak. And we've been lucky to have a lot of shipmates come along on that journey with us. But thank God for organizations like the Grizzlies. A huge thanks to you guys and what you're doing, because anymore I get maybe once a month or sometimes more. I actually just had one the other day where somebody will reach out and say, hey, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but our radio station is changing formats and we're no longer allowed to play Christian rock music. We're going to a CCM only format and we don't have room for Rusty Shipp anymore. And it's heartbreaking because it's like, one more got taken down, because like you were saying, that it's trying to snuff out this entire world or genre world of different types of Christian music that can reach people. I would hope that in today's world that expansion would be the thing of different genres of Christian music and not, oh, well, if it's not CCM tough, we're just going to snuff it out and we're only going to play CCM.
Yeah, I think
but that's the trend I'm seeing.
Honestly, just my personal opinion from what I see on Facebook and read and that sort of thing. I think CCM, honestly, is kind of on its way out to a point.
It's shrinking.
It is because, the people that listen to CCM, they're my mom and dad.
The joke is they're soccer moms.
Yeah, and now you've got, a younger crowd coming up.
Christian music. No.
Oh.
Well, you got a younger crowd of crowd of kids coming up listening to music, and they're listening to rock and rap and all kinds of stuff because it's not, you don't have the labels in there anymore, mucking things up and saying, if you're a Motley Crue fan, you can't be a Run DMC fan. That just doesn't work. I think you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm rambling on. Tananeum?
No, that is Rusty. He is Rambling Rusty.
Rambling Rusty, that's right.
Every Wednesday, I do a live stream every Wednesday at noon called Rusty Randomly Rambles. And I just tune on for an hour and just talk about whatever I want, play whatever songs I want. People can tune in and ask me questions or request songs or whatever.
And where is this at?
On our Facebook page and Instagram.
Oh, okay, cool.
Every Wednesday at noon.
You've done that for like
it's
years.
Like 6 years or something.
Non-stop, every Wednesday for 6 years.
All right.
This guy is dedicated.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. The name of the song, Tananeum?
Yeah.
Tananeem.
Tananeem.
Word.
What's that?
It's a Hebrew word for large sea monsters.
Okay. Well, here we're going to do Tananeem from Rusty Shipp on the Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience.
I don't care what band it is, personally. I just think, Rivers and I have helped each other over the years. I think Russ and I have talked, over the years. I just like to see people that I know be successful, regardless of who it is. And I know back when y'all did, Rusty Shipp did Show Me How to Live. I thought, man, that's ballsy going after that song. And then 3 Days Under did
Show Me How to Live from
Audio Slave.
Slave. And then Rivers Band, 3 Days Under did God's Gonna Cut You Down. Like, man, that's just going after these huge iconic songs and redoing them. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to do that.
Yeah.
That's their stupidity, Shipley.
A little bit of both, maybe.
Maybe hubris. Maybe throw some hubris in there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
honestly,
I didn't know we were doing a time of confession on this interview either.
So funny story with the Show Me How to Live cover. Well, we had been playing it live we've been playing the Audio Slave version live for a while, but Rusty had a perfect idea of how to strip it down and give it a different vibe, a completely Rusty Shipp feel. So that's why we covered it, and it fit perfectly with the Liquid Exorcist album. But when we released that single, we played it, we released it for the local rock station here in Nashville, 102.9 The Buzz. And we're good friends with a guy named Andy Heron, who's the DJ there. And Andy, we went in to visit with him, and he talked to me. He's like, man, that version that you guys released was the most polarizing single we've probably spun on this radio station in years. He said, we got so many, like, either people loved it or people hated it to death. And he said one guy was like emailing the station, basically threatening, like, if you guys play that Rusty Shipp song one more time, I am never listening to this radio station again. So we were like, you either love it or you hate it. I think it was Bob Dylan that said, I'd rather have 50% of the population really, really love it, 50% hate it, than 100% think it's just like, okay. So
now I just remember when it came out, it polarized a lot of people. And
we had fun with that. It's a fun song. So why not? Yeah. Like if I feel like if you can create a cover in your own way, if we were going to play it to sound just like Audio Slave, then we would have never done it. But we the way that Russ in his brilliant mind works and reconstructed it in such a unique way, we were like, this is going to be really fun. And it was.
Russ's mind scares me. Because right now, sitting and watching him, I see wheels turning. Something's going on. How he's going to work the next project, what he's going to do next, moving down the line. Mine, unfortunately, I shut off during the day. I'm like a walking zombie. It's that after I'm asleep for 2 hours, I crack an eyeball and be like, man, this is going to be great. But I got stuff to do in the morning. But we're going to sit up here and we're going to tinker all night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me start recording because we're missing some good stuff.
You haven't been recording?
No.
What are you doing?
It says it's recording.
Yeah, it says it's recording.
The video is recording.
The video,
we haven't.
Okay.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Rock Solid MUZKAST Experience.
Conversation.
Yeah. We're going to redo the whole conversation that we did in the break there. We got Rusty Shipp on the line here all the way from Nashville, Tennessee.
Ahoy, everybody.
And for those of you listening, we just had an amazing conversation, which made for great content, but you'll never hear it.
Well, no, you know what? You can absolutely hear it on the YouTube channel because I recorded the video for the YouTube channel. So we can put it up there.
You can see all of our mouths moving, but not to hear a single word we said.
We were talking about the cover of an Audio Slave song that you guys did.
Show Me How to Live.
Yeah. And now I haven't heard it. I've got to check that out. Now, but I did see also that you got a song called Us and Them. Did you cover the Pink Floyd Us and Them?
Yes, we
Yes,
did.
sir.
Because
Nice.
our new album is called Dark Side of the Ocean. And there was several nods to the famous Pink Floyd album on our album. And so we're like, you know what? We gotta cover a song from Dark Side of the Moon. So we did Us and Them, and we kind of reworked the song. We try to do one well-known cover song on each album, and then rework it in a way that's new and innovative and artistic. And as a musician and a songwriter, I try to really settle into a song and pull out melodies from the original that weren't in the original recording. So we did that in us and them. This new cover.
Awesome. Well, just my 2 cents. I haven't heard a really good cover of Ice Ice Baby, so you might put that on the list.
Yeah, that might be hard to pull out some good melodies from that one.
Suge Knight might come and dangle him over a building and want the rights to it as well. So.
I mean, it might sound a lot like a Queen song if I tried to do something. That one,
good one.
This song made me famous in middle school.
Can we look into the future maybe on the new project? Is there a cover coming up from the new project that you like to tease the audience with?
It's I don't want to spoil anything, but I can say it's going to be something nautical.
Something nautical.
Okay.
All right.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I'm guessing
everything else that's come from this band.
I'm guessing Sloop John B.
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, bullseye.
Would say
we've rung them up
I'm
twice
just
today.
playing.
I don't see how you get all this nautical inspiration living in a landlocked state.
There's a lot of imagination in this brain. A lot of imagination.
All right.
That's a good point. Well, Russ is good about, he'll get away every now and then and go visit family. Where do you used to go, Rusty? Is it Virginia Beach?
I go to Virginia Beach and Ocean City, Maryland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And usually he comes back and he's got a lot of new ideas.
Yeah, I bring my guitar to the beach.
We're gonna write a whole album based on its shell. I saw the whole story unfold before my eyes because my brain does not stop.
Well, AJ, I keep looking at you and just go, man, you're too clean cut to be the drummer. I feel like you're like the promoter.
Yeah. Thank you.
He needs to be a little more rusty, right?
Yeah, like at any time he's gonna go, okay, time's up, we gotta go.
No. I try to be well behaved and clean cut.
For some reason, I don't believe that for 1 second.
True.
What are you guys doing? Are you guys doing any shows coming up?
Yeah. Doing some festivals this summer. We're actually playing at the Nashville Rock and Roll Marathon in a few weeks. That's like a huge race that happens in downtown Nashville.
Wow. Like a car race?
It's a runners
marathon. Yeah, it's a big marathon. They do actually the rock and roll marathons, they do them in different cities. But they do it in Nashville. It's to help raise money for St. Jude's cancer research for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So
cool.
They keep asking us to come back every year. It's a fun local show for us because it's a home show. We just got to go downtown. And then we're going to be playing Kingdom Come Festival again coming in June. I think we're playing Saturday night, right, Rusty?
Yeah.
Like around 4:30 or 5. So the main night we're playing Kingdom Come Festival. And then
some other stuff.
A slew of other things. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Are you playing audio feed?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we are.
He's got the same kind of thing that Patrick does. Oh, wait, I got a show in a half hour.
Well,
Guilty.
AJ lets him know what shows.
In all fairness, I do quite a bit of the booking, but Rusty's helping with the stuff that I can't get to.
So is it just you two in the band, or is there other guys as well?
We've got some other guys as well.
Who are they, if you care?
Don't blow their witness protection program.
Sorry, man.
Doug Webster and David Jones.
You have a guy named David Jones? Are you serious?
Jones is in your band.
He's got a Davy Jones.
We do when it's convenient
for him
right now.
He needs to pack around a Foot Locker for every set. I mean, I'm just saying. If you're gonna do this, do it.
I really think you need to go over there as Sparrow and do a set with Davy Jones.
Yeah, I forgot to mention our band member named Patrick Rivers.
You guys need to fire that dude immediately. He makes dark, dirty jokes and is not conducive to what you guys are doing at all. I tell you what, though, if I ever wind up seeing us that we're on a bill with you guys, I am totally dressing as Jack Sparrow and crashing your set.
Do it.
Do it.
I will be on that
come on
stage
up.
in a heartbeat. And
Yes.
You
does a
don't know
pretty
what
good.
you're asking for.
He
You really don't.
You don't want to like that views.
He does a pretty good Jack Sparrow.
I mean, that's happening. I might just drive out to a show this year. If we're not playing on a weekend that you guys are, I might drive out and just be like, yo ho, mateys.
Please do. Please do. Every now and
Bring
then
you up
we
on
have,
stage.
every now and then we have a mermaid named Misty come out.
Misty the Mermaid.
Misty the Mermaid will make an appearance every now and then. But we try to have fun with the shows, man. We try to get like beach balls and kick them out in the crowd and stuff like that. Rusty used to have like nautical themed gummies and candies.
We threw out
for people.
We threw out gummy Krabby Patties one time.
That's what it was.
I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna throw out legitimate hooks for people. That way they can also wear the pirate patch legit too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I jokingly said this a couple times. I have to be careful when chucking drumsticks out to the crowd at the end of the show. I don't want to poke somebody's eye out and have a pirate eye patch victim on my behalf.
That'd be great.
You're totally missing an opportunity for more merch, is what it is.
Rusty Shipp right across the eye patch.
Oh, yeah, he's writing that one down. I see.
Yeah.
Look at the look on his face. He's like,
We've had some ideas.
You guys could legit get like these things.
Oh, here
Like,
we go.
Here's my Jack Sparrow headband thing. You guys could legit get these things with the Rusty Shipp across the front of it.
Yeah.
Ladies. I'm just saying.
We're good.
you want to
100%.
give him a little taste of Jack Sparrow, Patrick.
No, this isn't an on-demand thing. I'm not your puppet, David. I don't dance for you.
Why'd you think I brought you on the show?
I'm not your cheap Jack Sparrow fly-by afternoon date pal.
You are pretty cheap.
Yeah, I kind of do this for free.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, the album artwork. I got to talk about this because you got some cool album artwork going. I mean, look at that.
Wow.
That's awesome. Is it one guy that does all this?
Yeah, his name is Hein Zayman. He's a local artist here in Nashville. I met him way back when, years ago. And very graciously, he agreed to do our artwork, and just one album cover after the next, he just knocks it out of the park. He's my personal favorite artist. He's just one of the most creative people I've ever met. He builds his own worlds, and he came out with his own book of just his own characters and stuff. So he's just a true artist, and we feel very blessed that he took the time to make our album covers.
Yeah, it's very cool. I got the feeling, this is what popped into my head. It was a cross between the old Yes album covers and Asia.
Okay.
That's what it struck me as.
That's cool though, that kind of I never thought of that. Yeah, but now that you mentioned it, I'm going to go back and think about that some more. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he's super talented though. That every time that we get that, like I'm giddy. Like I can't wait to see what he's come up with every time we've worked with him. And then when we get the initial drafts, and first you see like some black and white drafts or sepia or whatever you want to call it, and then you start to see the color drafts, and you're like, ooh, that's going to look really cool. Especially every time we do a new album like we did with this, I always go get that album art cover as my kick drum on the front of my kick drum. But it just looks sick. Yeah, he kills it.
Do you give him any ideas, or does he like listen to the album and is inspired by it, or how does it come about? Do you know?
It's both of those. Mainly I give him the gist of what the album's about. The last 2 albums have been story-based concept albums. So I'll just tell him, what the basic story is, what the theme is, what the concept is. And it's just a lot of really descriptive imagery involved in the concepts behind the albums. So he has a lot to work with. And then I just kind of let him run with it and come up with some drafts. And then I look at the drafts and pick basically which direction I think is the direction to go in, and then he'll just carry it from there and finish it.
Do you find that it's any more difficult writing a concept album where you're telling a story versus writing an album of standalone singles?
Yeah, it's probably 10 times more difficult because you have so many different layers involved with the songwriting process. It's not just like, what do I want to write a song about today? Well, I can write anything I want. Okay, I'm really passionate about this thing. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to write this song. I have that, but I also think, well, okay, I've got this idea, but does it fit with the overall story? And if it doesn't, then I have to scrap that idea or put it in a pile of stuff to use later. But I go through my ideas and pick the ones that are consistent with this what's inside the circle as far as the concept, or what could be consistent with the concept. And then once I get the messages that are consistent with the overall theme and message of the album, then I figure out ways to tie it together artistically and through the imagery of the story. So with our albums, there's just different layers going on. Like each song has a spiritual or philosophical message. I'm hoping that the audience takes away that in some way empowers their life on a philosophical or spiritual level, but then also making that message tie into the overall story somehow. So it's like our album that we've got, Dark Side of the Ocean. It's this artistic concept story about this soul that drowns and it sinks to the bottom of the ocean, where it's captured by a sea angel, an underwater angel. And the underwater angel takes this soul to its underwater angelic kingdom, where they hold all the souls basically in limbo until Judgment Day. And it actually talks a little bit about this in the book of Revelation, when all the souls that are in the sea are brought before the great white throne. So I took that concept from Revelation, I just kind of ran with it, with this, what I thought was a really imaginative, interesting, artistic, creative storyline. But instead of just having an album with songs that are just like talking about this storyline, that's cool and it's artistic and fun and everything. But I really am committed to having lyrics that apply to a person's daily life. So I found a way with each of the songs on the album to mention this ongoing storyline from beginning to end, but then also have lyrics, especially in the choruses of the song, that are challenging or empowering or inspiring to a person, that can be applied outside of the story to just the nature of daily life. So there's just a lot that goes into the songwriting with our band, because I am doing a concept album and I'm doing a story, but I'm also so committed to the actual message of each song that has its own unique message that can be applied in daily life. So I spent a lot of time on this stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It really does. It sounds like more work than pleasure.
Yeah, it's work, but it's something that, I mean, I enjoy doing it more than almost anything in life. And I do feel a sense of divine calling with this. And these are talents that I've been given and gifts that I've been given by God. I feel a responsibility to use them to my utmost. And I've been tweaking what I do with songwriting for 20 years. So, and I'm committed to constant, never-ending improvement and progress with what I do, and just reaching the world better and better every time that I do it.
Awesome. You're on all the socials, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Under Rusty Shipp with 2 P's.
Except
Correct.
we're not on TikTok.
That's all right.
Not on
And
TikTok.
TikTok's not long for the world anyway. So, so yeah, check out Rusty Shipp, and it's Rusty Shipp, not the Rusty Shipp, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Rusty Shipp on all the socials. And you're going to be playing KCF.
Correct.
And I'm trying to think of another festival you were talking about.
Audio feed.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Audio Feed. All right.
I need some M's on these festivals.
Yeah, I think you need a network, Patrick.
I'm not good at that.
I know.
You heard my joke about the marathon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't network well.
Yeah.
So,
And rustyship.com. So
And
you
rustyship.com.
Yep.
Hey, Aaron, can we do the 2 covers, the Audio Slave cover and the Pink Floyd cover?
Your wish is my command.
I could always tell when he had something else planned.
didn't sound anything like Robin Williams.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And anytime, and definitely come back and we'll dive deeper into everything.
Awesome.
How much you
Thank
did
you.
there?
What's that? What was that, AJ?
I was just saying thank you again for what you're doing for not just us, but for the entire community. We really, really appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, just like everybody else, like and follow, subscribe, all that. That's the way we get the word out. So,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
same goes for you guys, man. Everyone, go check out Rusty Shipp and like, subscribe, and follow.
Great chat,
Thanks.
fellas.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
having
guys.
us.
All right.
Hey,
It's a
AJ, Rusty, I'm going to be in Nashville the week after next. I'm going to give you a shout if y'all are going to be around one evening.
Okay.
Fire away. Yeah. You go
All
grab
right.
coffee
Get
or
some
whatever.
coffee or something.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. See y'all then.
All
right,
right.
take care.
It's the
You guys,
Rock
thanks so much for having us.
Solid Musecast experience.